Mom let her friend's family move into my room after I paid everything. So I left, and what I did next made her quiet. At 23, I did not want to live at home, but it was okay most of the time. I did not live for free. I paid rent and the light bill. I also paid for Mom's phone. I did not just eat and play games all day. The deal was good. I had my own room. I got cooked food. I could do my work and not worry about money. I made my room a small workplace. I hoped my work would grow. All was well until Mom's friend Megan came with her 2 kids. I was not happy, but I knew why. Megan was getting a divorce. Her husband was bad, Mom said. They needed a place to live. Our house was good for them. I thought they would stay a short time, just a few weeks until Megan was okay. At first, they used the spare room. It was fine. The kids were loud, but I shut my door. I used earphones. It was not the best, but I could deal with it. The spare room was not big, but it was good enough for Megan and her kids for a while. I thought that was the plan. I did not think more about it. That changed fast. One day, I came home from the store. I saw something strange. My door was open. I heard kids laugh inside. I went in. I could not believe it. My bed had toys on it. My chair was moved. A kid was on my computer. My work things were in the corner. My mic, lights, and camera were there. They looked like they did not matter. Megan's kids ran like the room was theirs. My things were all over. I yelled, "What is this?" I was too loud, but I was shocked. Mom came in. She told me I was wrong. She said, "Calm down. It's okay. The kids need more space. Your room is big. That's fair." Fair? My room? I pay for it. I told her to make them leave my room. She said I was silly. She said, "They need to feel good. You are not nice." Not nice? I could not believe it. This was not about feeling good. It was about respect. My room was not just for sleep. It was where I worked. My work things cost more than $3,000. I could not put them in the corner. I told her this, but Mom did not care. She said, "They are just kids. They want to use your computer. Don't be mad." I said no. I said, "They can't use my things. If they break them, I'm in trouble." Then Megan said, "Oh, come on. They just want to see. You can't be mad. If you were more fun, they would listen to you." I was shocked. Not fun? I was fun. I just wanted to keep my things safe. Things I worked for. I told her the kids could not touch my things. If they did, she would pay. She did not like that. She said I was not nice. Mom said yes. It was like I was the bad guy in my own home. After the fight, the house was not happy. I could not believe Mom and Megan were against me. I pay rent, but they did not care. I thought they would see how silly it was later. The next day, I talked to Mom again. I told her my work things were important. They were for my job. My work is not just for fun. It is how I make money. Without my things, I can't work. New things would cost a lot. It would take a long time to save. I said, "Mom, I don't want to be mean, but this is not fair. I pay for my room. You gave it away. You did not ask me." She said, "You are too upset. It's my house. I say what happens here." I was shocked. Your house? I pay to live here. I help pay. I don't live for free. She did not care. She said, "The kids need space. Your brother's room is too small. Your sister's room has her things. Also, your room has nice things. The kids like it more." I could not believe it. My brother and sister are 15. Their rooms were fine. My brother's room was small, but it was big enough for 2 kids. My sister's room was big like mine. She was not home much. She was with friends. But Mom did not think about that. She said, "The kids like your room. It's more fun. Your nice things are fun for them." Fun? This was not about fun. My room was not a play place for Megan's kids. It was where I worked. It was where I rested. It was where I lived. I said, "If they break my things, will you pay for new ones? I don't have the money." Then Megan said, "Stop being scared. They are kids, not bad guys. If you let them play, they will not break your things." I got mad. I said, "Let them play with my $3,000 things? Are you joking? No." Megan rolled her eyes. She said, "You are not nice. We are having a hard time. You only think about yourself." I had enough. I said to Mom, "If they stay in my room, I must move my things. I can't let them break them." She laughed at me. She said, "Where will you put them? There is no room. So I should let them break my things?" I said loud, "How is that fair?" Mom shook her head. She said, "Life is not fair. You are grown up. You can deal with small problems." A small problem? Losing my room was not a small problem. It was not nice. I paid for that room. Now I could not use it. Also, I could not go in my room. Mom said it was their room now. I had no right to go in. For days, I stayed away from home. I went to coffee shops. I tried to work on my small computer, but it was not the same. I could not do my work well. I was late with my work. I was very stressed. I tried to talk to Mom one more time. I said, "Let's make a deal. Let me put my work things in the spare room. They can have my room. Then I can work. They can have space." She did not think about it. She said, "No, the spare room is too small for your things. You must wait until Megan is okay." I said, "How long will that be?" She just said, "As long as it takes. You can't say when her hard time will end." I could not believe this was happening. I did not hate Megan or her kids. I knew they had a hard time. I wanted to help, but this was not help. It was bad. Megan did not pay to stay with us. Now they were pushing me out of my own life. That night, I heard Megan talk to Mom in the kitchen. She said bad things about me. She said I was not nice and not grown up. She said, "He doesn't know how hard this is for us. He is bad." Mom said yes. She said, "He always says no. He will be fine later." That was too much for me. I knew they did not care about me. To Mom, I was just money. To Megan and her kids, I was in their way. They would not listen. They would not change. The next day, I looked for a room to rent. It was not easy to decide. I liked living at home. It did not cost much. I was good with my brother and sister, but I could not stay where no one respected me. After days of feeling like a guest in my home, I said no more. It was not just about the room. It was about respect. I paid rent. I paid bills. I tried to make a good life for me, but Mom and Megan did not care. They said what I needed did not matter. I was tired of it. One night, I talked to Mom in the living room. My brother and sister were up in their rooms. Megan was putting her kids to bed. It was just me and Mom. I thought if she saw I was serious, she would listen. I said, "Mom, we need to talk." She looked tired. She said, "What now?" I said, "I can't live like this. I pay for my room. Now I can't use it. You gave it away. You did not ask me. It's not fair." She sighed. She sat back on the couch. She said, "We talked about this. It's not forever. Megan and her kids have a hard time. You are young. You can deal with it." I said, "That's not the point. It's not about dealing with it. It's about respect. You did not ask me. You said my room is not mine. Now I can't work. My things are put away or in the corner." She said, "You are too upset. This is my house. I say what happens." She said it again. Each time she said it, it hurt me. I said, "If it's your house, why do I pay rent? If you treat me like a guest, maybe I should not pay." She looked mad. She said, "Don't say that. You know I need your money for bills." I said, "Then treat me like I matter. You can't take my money, then tell me I have no say. That's not right." She looked at me like I was crazy. She said, "What do you want me to do? Put Megan and her kids on the street? They have no place to go." I shook my head. I said, "No, but there are other ways. They could use the spare room, or they could use my brother's or sister's room, or we could all take turns. But taking my room and keeping me out is not okay." She crossed her arms. She said, "Your brother and sister are too young to share their rooms. The spare room is too small for 3 people. Your room was the best choice." I said, "No, it was the easy way. You did not want to deal with it, so you made me deal with it." I was very mad. I said, "I will make it easy. Look at me. Megan and her kids leave my room, or I leave the house. Those are your choices." She looked surprised. She said, "Don't be silly. Where would you go?" I said, "I already looked for rooms to rent. If you don't respect me, I will find a new place to live." She laughed. She said, "You are lying. You don't have money to move out." I leaned back. I crossed my arms. I said, "Try me." The next days were not good. I did not talk about my choice again, but we both knew about it. Mom did not think I was serious. That made me more sure. I used all my free time to look for rooms. I wrote to people who had rooms. I looked at my money. It would not be easy, but I knew I could do it if I spent less on things I did not need. At home, things got worse. Megan's kids made my room their play place. I could do nothing. I could not go in without someone getting mad. One time, I tried to get some things I left, my earphones and some books. Megan got mad at me. She stood in the door. She said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I need my things." I tried to stay calm. She shook her head. She said, "You can't just come in. This is their room now." I looked at her. I could not talk. I said, "Are you joking? This is my room." She said, "Not now. You need to respect their space." I said, "Respect their space?" I almost laughed. I said, "I pay for this room. I will get my things and go, but don't tell me to respect their space. No one respects mine." She said something low and walked away, but it was too late. Then I knew this could not be fixed. Mom would not help me. Megan would not change. If I wanted things to be better, I had to do it myself. A week later, I found a room I could pay for. It was not nice. It was small in an old building, but it was mine. The owner was nice. The room was clean. Best of all, I could put my work things there. I did not have to worry about kids touching them. I did not tell Mom yet. I wanted to make sure everything was done. Then I would tell her. When I signed the paper, I felt good and sad at the same time. I did not plan to move out, but I could not stay. I had to think of myself first, even if it meant leaving the home I grew up in. Next, I had to move my things. I knew it would not be easy. Mom and Megan would watch me, but I did not care. I was done being nice. After I signed the paper, I knew I had to move fast. If I told Mom too soon, she would make it hard for me. So I planned it well. I told some friends what was happening. 2 friends said they would help me pack and move. 1 friend said they would film with their phone, just in case things got bad. The night before I moved, I talked to Mom one last time. I wanted to give her one last chance to fix things. I said, "Mom, I found a place. I am moving out tomorrow." She looked up from her phone. She was surprised. She said, "You are really doing this?" I said, "Yes, you gave me no choice." She rolled her eyes. She said, "You are too upset. This is not forever. You are leaving for no reason." I said, "It is for a reason. You gave away my room. You kept me out. You said I had no say. I pay rent. You treated me like I did not matter." She sighed. She said, "You know I need your rent money. If you leave, how will I pay the bills?" I felt a little bad, but I did not care. I said, "That's not my problem now. You said this is not my house. You said it's your house, your rules. Then I don't have to stay here." She looked mad at me. She said, "You will just leave us with no help?" I shrugged. I said, "You can ask Megan to pay rent, or her husband. They are still married. I don't owe you anything." She did not say anything. She looked cold at me. She went back to her phone. I knew it was time to go. The next day, my friends came early. They had cars and a big truck I paid to use. We wanted to finish fast. I had put most things in boxes, but I still had to get my work things from my old room. When we got to the house, Megan and her kids were up. The kids were running in the living room. Megan sat at the table with coffee. She looked at me in a bad way when I came in. She said, "What is happening?" I said, "I am moving out." She looked surprised. She said, "Really? You are leaving because of this? That's sad." I did not listen to her. I went up to my room, the room that was mine. When I opened the door, I felt sick. My bed had toys and animals on it. My desk had a lot of junk on it. My computer, mic, and camera were in the corner. They looked like no one touched them for weeks. I said to my friend, "Start filming." He took out his phone. He started to film. I began to pack my work things. Megan saw what I was doing. She came up and yelled. She said, "You can't just come in and take things. This is their room now." I looked at her. I tried to stay calm. I said, "These are my things, Megan. I paid for them. I am taking them with me." She crossed her arms. She said, "You are silly. You are mad because kids need space." I said, "This is not me being mad. This is me saying I matter. You and Mom treated me like I don't matter. I am done with that." She yelled more. I did not listen. I kept packing. My friends helped me put things in the truck. One friend kept filming, just in case Megan or Mom did something bad. When we were done, Mom came up. She wanted to see what was happening. She saw the empty room. She got very mad. She said, "You are really doing this? You are leaving us because you didn't get what you wanted?" I looked right at her. I said, "I am leaving because you didn't respect me. I paid for this room. You gave it away. You did not ask. You made it clear I don't matter. So now I matter to me." She started to talk. I put my hand up. I said, "Don't. I made my choice." When I carried the last box to the truck, Megan stood in the door. Her arms were crossed. She looked mad at me. She said, "Good luck out there. You will see how not nice you were when things get hard." I did not answer. I got in the truck. My friends and I drove away. That night, I moved to my new place. I started to unpack. My phone got many texts from Mom. She was very mad. She said I was not nice. She said I left her in a bad spot. She said I left the family. She said I left her with all the bills. One text said, "You have always been not nice. I can't believe you did this to me after all I did for you." I wrote an answer, but I deleted it. I did not need to explain. She made her choice. Now I made mine. After I moved in, I felt good first. No more fights, no more not being respected. Most of all, no more feeling like I didn't matter. My new room was small. The building was not the best, but it was quiet. It was mine. I unpacked my work things first. I put them in the corner of my room. For the first time in weeks, I felt I could breathe. But the good feeling did not last. The next morning, Mom started to text me. She sent many texts. She asked if I paid rent for the month. I said I did not pay because I moved out. She got mad. She texted, "It's not the 25th yet. You owe me for the rest of this month." I rolled my eyes. I texted back, "No, I don't. I don't live there. I don't pay rent." She said, "Ask Megan to pay." She answered fast. She said, "Megan has no money to pay rent. You know that. You leave me to handle everything. I can't pay." I texted, "That's not my problem. You said it's your house, your rules. Now it's your bills, your problem." She did not like that. She said I was not nice, not grown up, and not thankful. She said I was breaking the family by leaving. At first, I felt a little bad. I always helped with money. I knew it helped a lot. But then I remembered why I left. Mom treated me like I didn't matter. So why should I feel bad for putting myself first? The next week, she tried to make me feel bad. Then she got mad. Mom sent long texts about how I broke everything. One text said, "You made me feel bad. Everyone in the family asks why you left. I don't know what to say." I did not answer. I knew anything I said would make her more mad. I worked on making my new place good. I caught up on my work. I set up my work things. I started to feel like me again. It was great to feel so good without all the bad things. A few days later, my sister called. I had not talked to her since I moved. I thought she wanted to see how I was. But when I answered, I knew she wanted something else. She said, "Mom is very upset." She said, "You didn't pay rent this month. Now she is worried about the bills." I said, "Calm. I don't live there. Why should I pay for a place I don't live?" My sister said, "But you know she can't pay without you." "You always helped. Why stop now?" I said, "Because she didn't respect me. She gave away my room. She kept me out. She treated me like I didn't matter. I am done with people using me." My sister sighed. She said, "It's not that easy. Megan is having a hard time. Mom is just trying to help." I said, "I get that, but why does helping Megan mean hurting me? I paid for that room. It was my room." My sister said, "She didn't want to hurt you. She is just stressed." I said, "I am stressed too, but no one cared when I lost my room." She did not say much after that. We talked a few more minutes, mostly about her school. Then we hung up. I knew she was in the middle, but I would not let her make me feel bad. As days passed, Mom sent fewer texts. I think she knew I would not change. But then she did one last thing. It made me happy I left. One morning, I got a text from a cousin. I had not talked to them in years. It said, "Hey, I heard about the fight with your mom. Are you okay?" I was confused. I asked what they meant. Then they sent me a picture of a post Mom put on Facebook. In it, she made me look bad. She said I left her and the family when they needed help. She did not say she gave away my room. She made it sound like I left just to be mean. I was very mad. It was one thing to fight with me, but to tell everyone online was too much. I did not answer the post. I knew it was not worth my time. Let her act like she was hurt if she needed to. I knew the truth. The people who mattered knew the truth. Now, a month later, I am all set in my new place. My work is good again. I am not stressed. I feel like me again. Mom still texts me sometimes, but I keep it short. I talk about safe things.
I learned to say what is okay. I don't let her make me feel bad anymore. Do I feel bad about leaving? Sometimes. Yes, it's sad it ended this way, but I don't wish I did something else. I deserve respect. If Mom could not give me that, I had to find it somewhere else. Moving out was the best thing I did for myself. I won't go back. Was I bad for leaving and not paying rent for the rest of the month? I don't think so. I tried to be fair, but Mom made it clear I did not matter as much as Megan and her kids. In the end, I had to put myself first. If that makes me not nice, then okay.